start now.
Okay. All right.
Yai die die. Wait. Yai die die. Yai die 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 die. Yai die 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 die. Yai die 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 die. Yai die die. Yai die 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 die. Yai die 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 die. Yai die 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 die. Yai die die. Yai die 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 die. Yai die 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 die. Yai die 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 die. Die die.
Shabbat Shalom. This is an amazing practice for the high holidays. Shabbat Shalom. It's good to see all of you filling every inch of this synagogue. So first of all, just a short note of explanation. I feel like I need to say I'm Rabbi Sonia. Someone said, I don't recognize you. I am Rabbi Sonia. Welcome to the baby naming. I am today the mom and the rabbi, and unfortunately, I'm also going to be the cantor because Kyle doesn't feel well. So, many of you brought food already, and that has been amazing, and thank you for overlooking the chaos in my house, in our house. And mainly what I've been asking for the next 6 months is some patience as we're navigating the chaos without daycare. So, this is one of those evenings where everything is planned. Some things have been planned for months, and I want to say thank you already to the caring committee who has been creating the baby naming ceremony for us. Hello, Randy. Welcome from Helena. And then I also, hold on. Oops. I know, Jane is here. I saw her. So we are growing as a family and as a community. And I think I get to experience one thing. Oh, by the way, I also managed to take a COVID test. And I just forgot that I did. And it's negative, so that's a relief. And I get to experience something that most people always say, like, it takes a village, and today we don't have villages anymore. Please feel free to just march through. It's fine. Or you can go around. Okay, good. Because I get to do this. I get to raise kids in a village. And these kids are going to meet every one of you, and all of you are going to meet these kids. And I just want to say thank you for all of you who showed up wearing dinosaur masks and sharing this moment with Danielle and me and Zivi, and this little one who will be named very soon. So I want to say that my history with most of you began last summer, some of you maybe 4 years ago. There are a couple of people in the room who actually were at the last baby naming. And I think it's just Dana and Justin and Jane and Fred. And, sorry, I'm gonna cry today. And Jane and Fred sent a little gift. It was a snuggly bear-like snowsuit, long before we moved to Bozeman, but it came in handy when we arrived in Bozeman, and he did wear it. And she is gonna wear it. And I just want to say I'm really glad that Jane is here. And if you would be okay, can we light candles together? Would you like candles with me? Yes, okay. So we're lighting the candles on page 120 as a community and with Jane. And also, it's time to call Fred. I really mean it. It's time to call Fred. So it's 1:20, lighting the Shabbat candles. All you need to do is you light the candles.
Thank you so much. So, say it. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kiddushonu b'mitzvotav v'tzivono lahadlik ner shel Shabbat.
Amen. Welcome everyone in this space. We are reading together on page 125 the reading that the people who come to Zoom services maybe know by heart at this point. The one that starts with, let me learn to pause, if only for this day. Let me find peace on this day. Let me enter into a quiet world this day. On this day, Shabbat, abide. And with this, I'm going to hand over to Diane, steering the caring committee. And thank you to all these women, to Sharon and Suzanne and Lynn and Diane and Beth and whom did I miss? And Dana, who's not on the caring committee, but who's going to play a major role in what we will continue doing here, and her husband Justin too, for creating this moment for this community, but also just for us.
Thank you so much. Welcome everyone to this very special event where we will welcome baby girl into the world. Oh, I have to stand here?
Yes, and you have to speak into it so that the people in the live stream can hear you.
Okay. Thank you for joining us in welcoming baby Phil into the world and into this Jewish community. And as Rabbi shared, this program is brought to you by the Caring Committee, and she shared the names of the wonderful women that we all work together for this very special time. Several months ago, Sonia came to the committee and asked us if we would officiate at a ceremony. And we all got very excited, felt very honored, and we asked her, well, who is the rabbi? And she says, well, you all are the rabbi, all right? So then our enthusiasm was somewhat replaced by feeling overwhelmed. How could we reciprocate to Sonia and her family for all the love and enthusiasm and wisdom that she has provided to us? Okay. So we worked very hard, and we had tears and laughter, and we're all here tonight. But another piece of this journey was that the Caring Committee came together as a very cohesive group. And we really bonded and we really grew as a sisterhood. So we want to thank Sonia for trusting us for taking on this journey. So I'll tell you a little bit about what's going to happen tonight. There'll be some singing and some prayers, and there'll be 2 rituals. One ritual is a washing of the baby's feet. And also the bowl that we will be using, Dana crafted this bowl. So you may ask, why washing of the feet? So as we began to explore rituals for baby girls, water frequently came up because of all the symbolism, both contemporary and biblical, for water. So water can be seen as a way to welcome. So when the angels came to Abraham to announce the birth of Isaac, Abraham washed the feet of the angels for welcoming, but also bringing the angels in as distinguished guests. And that's really what we're doing tonight. Also, water is seen as a covenant. After the flood, there was rainwater, there was a rainbow, and God made a covenant with all of humanity. There's the sense of mikveh, of immersion of the soul, and also the many strong women in our history, such as Miriam at the well. The washing of the feet will be performed by Dana and Justin. Then at the end, we're going to have another ritual that Suzanne will share. And this will be at the very end of the service, not at the end of the baby ceremony, but at the end of the service. So Suzanne? Okay. Also, there will be an ogneg, which is sponsored by Jake and prepared by Sid, so thank you both. There will be gifts delivered to the Pilt's home soon, and thank you, Carly, for coordinating that effort. And there is to be a challah coming, so it's here. Okay, Ashley made a challah. And it's amazing. So now I would like Dana and Justin to come on up.
Can we take our socks off? Come on up, Zivi. All right. So as the baby's feet are washed, we say, Barucha at Ya Makor, Mayim Chaim Chom Hiyat, Nefesh Kol Chai. Now, in the presence of loved ones, we give you the name, Noga Bat Karen Vidaniel. Let it become a name honored and respected for wisdom and good deeds. Noga, we commit ourselves to the unfolding of your promise. May you walk the path of goodness, beauty, and truth. Do justly and love mercy, and be humble before the mystery of life and the grandeur of the universe into which you have been born. May God's blessing rest on you now and always. Oh. Sonia and Daniel, would you like to share with us the meaning behind her name?
So you probably heard in Dana's prayer just then that she said Noga, which is actually this little girl's middle name, and that's her Hebrew name. And her first and everyday name, rather than her spiritual name, is Ida. And Ida is the name of my grandmother.
No.
Sonia wanted to follow the wonderful Jewish tradition of naming the child after a relative, and my grandmother Ida was extremely special to me in my life. She was basically my only family member who she was the best one. And And just a little short amount of info about Ida. She was from Syracuse, New York. She was a little Polish lady and very intelligent. She taught me so much, and she did so much to help raise me and protect me. And I really wanted to thank Sonia for helping us to choose that, because I never would have done that on my own, but to have Sonia suggest that we should honor her is really special. I'm still getting used to the fact that now, that name has a different association to me. So that's interesting. I'm sure a lot of people go through that. And let's see. There was something else, but I can't think of anything else, but I'm sure I'll remember it and talk to you later in person, to many of you. But let's move on to her middle name and her Hebrew name, and I'll let Sonia take it from there.
Okay, so I'm glad that we're all adapting the style of the interior designer who also created our living room. So her Hebrew name is Noga. And I'm smiling because Lauren Werner has pressured us for a great length of time to call her Noah. And I said, we almost did. So the name is Noga because, first of all, Noga was the first cousin of my best Israeli friend. So it was the first little girl I met. And the name kind of stuck with me, and I always thought maybe one day I'll have my own Noga. So now there is a Noga. But also much more important, I think some of you know, Ziv's name means glitter or glands, and it's a name that shows up in the Kabbalah Shabbat liturgy as like something shining in. And it reminded me of the moment when I realized that maybe there would be a little Zivi one day, which was one of the last times I rode the subway from my office on the Upper East Side down to Brooklyn. And the train stopped in the middle of the way, and I had to get out, and I walked for some reason to Battery Park, and I looked at the Statue of Liberty, and the stars were glittering on the sea, and I thought, glitter is a good thing. So this was Zivi's name. And this time, there was the first time that the snow fell in Bozeman. Last, I think, beginning of December. And it was a lot of snow. It was absolutely more snow than I had seen in many years of my life. And it made the night almost daylight. I was walking around in the neighborhood, and it really felt like I could see everything. The trees and the street and everything was very, very calm and very light. And it was again one of those glittery nights. And Noga is the evening star, or the morning star. And it also means shimmer and shine. So there are two little kids who have light names and moments, and carry with them moments that are somewhat full of some sense of knowing, without being entirely sure, but very connected to the landscapes that they come from, and that this family comes from at this point. So her full name in her passport is going to be Ida Noga Pils, and her Hebrew name is Noga Bat Keren Vedaniel.
Actually, if I may, I just remembered the
Good.
thing I wanted to say. The story about Zivi and how he got his name triggered the memory. And what I wanted to say is that, it's also a custom in Judaism to not say the baby's name, hence this service. But, I think part of it is, well, for whatever the reason, Sonia can explain that better than me, but when she was pregnant, our nickname for the baby, our first one was Zivi, and we didn't actually intend to name him Zivi. That was just the little sweet pea or the bun in the oven kind of nickname. And by the time the baby arrived, we were just so used to it that it had to be that. We couldn't even imagine going to a different name after that, so we stuck with Ziv. And similarly, we were talking about Ida to ourselves while Sonia was pregnant, And even Zivi knew the name. He even kind of thought the word baby and Ida were the same meaning. He would point to the crib that we already have and say Ida. So it felt like, how can we switch it from here? That's our Ida.
So
2 for 2 on going with the nickname.
We still need you guys. So there's the Marsha prayer.
That's me. ברוכה את יא מקור מים חיים, המחיית נפש כל חי. Blessed are you, source of living water, who revives the soul of all living. Oh, okay. Daniel, yes, you say that in English.
Ida Noga Pills. Be who you are, and may you be blessed in all that you are.
היי אשר תהי, ויהי ברוכה באשר תהי.
Okay. The signing of the certificate.
All right. Where's me? Okay.
I remember this. I've done one of these contracts.
Am I supposed to send it to you?
Yeah, I think you're in the middle. All right.
So now all together, let us sing the soul and every name.
Every soul. Every soul.
אתה אדוני אלוהינו מלך העולם שהחיינו וקיימנו והגיענו לזמן הזה ברוך אתה אדוני אלוהינו מלך העולם שהחיינו וקיימנו והגיענו לזמן הזה. Thank you. Zivi, now it's over. Okay, and there are cupcakes in the other room if you want to go there. Okay. All right. I said to Sess the other day, one of the good things about this baby is that Zivi's gonna learn to be a part of something bigger than him. Which is, it's a good life lesson. So, now that we have named this baby, and hopefully someone will figure out what to do with the other kid who's running around. Okay, he's now eating cupcakes, good. I want to invite us just for a moment. I often speak about the different faces of Shabbat. I think we've mentioned plenty of them. Queens and princesses and mothers and friends, the faces of loved ones that you spend Shabbat with, the face that you consider home. And that the moment of Lecha Dodi is a moment where we both go out into the fields and also invite the presence of the thing, that face that we love the most in the world. I don't think I ever thought about a baby. speaking about this prayer. I never thought about God or Shabbat taking on this metaphor of something very small and precious. But maybe today we can try this. Think about a baby. Might have been your own baby or someone else's baby, or think about what you knew about yourself as a baby, and just try to figure out what might be godly about something very small and very vulnerable. We are on page 138, Lecha Dodi. Lecha Dodi likrat kala, Pnei Shabbat nekabela. Lecha Dodi likrat kala, Pnei Shabbat nekabela. Shamo וזכור בדיבור אחד, השמיענו אל המיוחד, אדוני אחד ושמו אחד, לשם ולתפארת ולתהילה. לך דודי, לך דודי לקראת כלה, פני שבת נקבלה. לך דודי לקראת כלה, פני שבת נקבלה. Verse 5. התעוררי, התעוררי, כי באורך קומי הורי, אורי, אורי, שיר דברי, כבוד אדוני עלייך נגלה. לך דודי, לך דודי לקראת כלה, פני שבת נקבלה. לך דודי לקראת כלה, פני שבת נקבלה. Please rise. בואי ושלום עטרת בעלה, גם בשמחה ובצהלה, תוך אמוני עם סגולה. בואי חלה, בואי חלה. לך דודי, לך דודי לקראת כלה, פני שבת נקבלה. לך דודי לקראת כלה, פני שבת נקבלה. Please take a seat. We're on page 140, and just take a breath. טוב להודות לאדוני, טוב להודות לאדוני, לשמך עליון, טוב להודות לאדוני, להגיד בבוקר חסדך, להגיד בבוקר חסדך, ואמונתך בלילות, ואמונתך בלילות, טוב להודות been a year that I've been singing these songs, and I hear people joining in, which is amazing. I wanted to share not too much because there was a long ritual already, and there will be more ritual later on. I wanted to share a little midrash from the Talmud. It's about where babies come from. And the rabbis and the physicians in the room can laugh about this. The rabbis had their own theories, but they figured out that both the mother and the father contribute something. And then there must be more than just this. And the story they came up with is that everything that's red in a person comes from the mother. It's mainly the blood and the mouth. I don't know why they came up with that. And everything that's white in a person comes from the father. The teeth, the brain, the eyes, the nails, maybe also the white hair. No one knows. And then they said, there's the way you speak, and the way you move, and the way you touch things. And all those things, they come from God. And when you die, the red is still there, and the white is still there. But what is taken from you is the way you move, and the way you speak, and the way you touch, because this goes back to where it came from. And I've been thinking a lot about the rabbi stories about what life is all about. And if you were at the Torah study a couple of weeks ago, when we spoke about life's journey, because it was the Parsha Masa'eh, journeys. And I asked everyone in the room, what were the stations and the moments in your life where something shifted? And the interesting thing for myself personally was that one of the moments that I wrote down was the birth of Zivi. And it was the day, I think, when I moved a little closer to being dead. Because I don't matter so much anymore. And I think most people who have children will agree with me that the day you have children, you don't matter so much anymore. And maybe you don't have to be children to have this experience one day, to just realize that there is something bigger than you that will move on in the world, no matter or not whether you're here or not. There is this Ashkenazi custom that Daniel spoke about, that we give our kids the names of the people we already lost. Sometimes it actually works out that way, and sometimes it's someone else. But you look at your kid and they do things, your uncle used to do, or your father used to do, and they never met. They don't know how they wiggle their toe or how they use their tongue when they try to focus. But you suddenly have a sense that something does live on. And it's not just the colors. It's something about who these people are and who they were in our lives. And it's a good thing that we are in the year 2022 and know that it's not only about genetics, but that we give on and pass on who we are, the way we move, the way we talk, the way we touch, to so many people around us, whether or not they're biologically related to us or not. And it's one of the things that we do in a community. I know that not necessarily everybody here raises their kids in a village. I know that our experience is somewhat singular because I'm the rabbi, and trust me, I also pay a price for that. But there is something really, really special to be part of this community, to learn how to share our lives, the way we touch, the way we speak, the way we move, to watch each other, to share this and to pass it on. So I just want to say thank you to everything you bring to this family, to my family over there, and everything also that you allow me to bring to you. it's maybe the most special things because it has nothing to do with your eye color and everything to do with the way we live together. Here. So, on the notion of continuing together and focusing on the things that are invisible and yet very present in the room, maybe the most charitable things, please rise if you're able with me. Page 146, Baruch Hu. The moment when we encounter whatever that is in the world that we cherish the most. Baruch Hu et Adonai HaMevorach. Baruch Adonai HaMorach le'olam. Baruch Adonai HaMorach le'olam va'ed. Please be seated on page 148. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher bidbaro ma'ariv aravim. Blessed are you, Adonai, our God, ruler of the universe, who speaks the evening into being, skillfully opens the gates, thoughtfully alters the time, and changes the seasons, and arranges the stars in their heavenly courses according to plan. You are the creator of day and night, rolling light away from the darkness and darkness from light, transforming day into night and distinguishing one from the other. Adonai Tzvaot is your name. El Chai v'kayam, tamid yimloch aleinu, le'olam va'ed. Baruch atah Adonai, ha'ma'ariv aravim. 150. Ahavat olam, Beit Yisrael, amcha ahavta. Torah u'mitzvot, chukim u'mishpatim, otanu limadta. Al ken Adonai Eloheinu, b'shochbeinu u'bekumeinu, nasiach bechukecha, v'nismach b'divrei toratecha, u'v'mitzvotecha, le'olam va'ed. Ki hem chayenu ve'orech yameinu ve'orech yameinu, uvahem nege yomam v'layla, yomam v'layla. ואהבתך תשים ממנו לעולמים. ברוך אתה אדוני, אוהב עמו ישראל. שמע ישראל, אדוני אלוהינו, אדוני אחד. ואהבת את אדוני אלוהיך בכל לבבך ובכל נפשך ובכל מאודיך, והיו הדברים האלה אשר אנוכי מצווך היום על לבביך, ושיננתם לבניך, ודיברת בם בשבתך בביתך ובלכתך בדרך ובשוכבך ובקומך, וקשתם לאות על ידיך, והיו לטוטפות בין עיניך, וכתבתם על מזוזות ביתך ובשעריך, למען תזכרו ועשיתם את כל מצוותיי, והייתם קדושים לאלוהיכם. אני אדוני אלוהיכם, אשר הוצאתי אתכם מארץ מצרים, להיות לכם לאלוהים. אני אדוני אלוהיכם, אדוני אלוהיכם אמת. We're on page 158. There's one thing that I hate about bar and bat mitzvah services. It's just one thing. All the other things are wonderful. But the one thing that I hate is that they're all about one person. Or that sometimes they're just about one person. When it really is a communal ritual. And it's also so much about everybody else in the room witnessing what is going on there and affirming that, yes, you are now a member of this community. A full member of this community, because obviously you are too, but just not full yet. So I want to pause just for a second. We're at Micha Mocha to acknowledge that all kinds of other things are also happening in this community. One thing that I personally want to mention, and I will ask you in a second to please rise and share if you have something good to declare. But one thing that is happening in this family that needs to be mentioned just once, Daniel randomly finished college this week. So it is marching towards freedom, a Micha Mocha moment for all of us, definitely. Anybody else who feels that some weight dropped off their shoulders this week or last week, who wants to share a word of relief and a word of, I am on my journey walking towards lighter days? Yes, you have a welcome. That is amazing, Lisa. Shehechianu. Carly.
With much help from other people in this synagogue family, we painted both of those rooms back there.
Yes, we have new looking classrooms, which is amazing. Thank you, Carly. Any other good things that happen in your life?
My cousin just had a baby, and he had his bris last week, so we're all very excited about it.
Perfect. Mazel tov. There are other babies too, yes.
I put my horses back in a trailer for the first time since our wreck in April.
Wonderful. The new horses in Doug's life. Anybody else new horses? No. Okay. So whatever it is, it might be.
Yankees won 3 days in a row.
The Yankees won. I have to say, I'm a Yankees fan. I know it's not cool, but I am. So that's been a good week. Yes.
Oh, I was saying hi to Dan.
Oh, then someone's saying hi.
Well, I guess it's sad since I'm going to be leaving the area, but I got an opportunity to help procure and strike gold in Reno, so I'll be leaving Sunday evening to go on my next leg of my journey in life.
Oh, wow.
And I think it's a blessing. It's a huge blessing because there's a lot of gold involved. So
then yes, may you be showered in glitter for the next chapter. You can come or not, with or without gold. Okay. And I also wanted to share two joyful moments for this congregation. Maybe you're seeing, probably you're seeing lots of new faces. We are seeing at least 2 new faces this week that you will continue to see. Maybe I'll ask you quickly to rise. You see at the soundboard, Trayson. Trayson comes to us from Reno. He has just finished a bachelor at MSU in sound and music technology, and he is with us now when we have services, and I can truly say we have all been waiting for your arrival. Welcome, Trayson, and we're going to introduce him more extensively in the next newsletter. And the person we've already introduced in this week's newsletter, welcome, Lily. Lily is inhabiting this office that used to be Lisa's office. She's in there Fridays from 1 to 4. The rest of the week, she's a high school student at Bozeman High. But she is doing all our fabulous work on Instagram and Facebook, and she's helping with bookkeeping and keeping things on track. And it is due to her that there were newsletters on time in the last 2 weeks. So thank you and welcome to the 2 of you sharing in our walks and journeys as a community, and we're really happy to have you. And so those are those 2 new people that you will be able to encounter. And if you call or you leave a voice message, then Lily will pick up or call you back on Friday, which is, in my experience, the time when most people call here because they don't know when services are. And, and they're always at 6:30. Wonderful. So, being together on a journey with everybody involved in their own ways, leaving their own little traces in the mud or the sand. We are on page 158, and I promise Daniel I will sing his favorite melody if he's here or not. Mi chamocha ba'elim Adonai, mi kamocha neda b'kodesh. Nora tehilot, osef ele, nora tehilot, osef ele, malchutecha, ראו בניך בוקע ים לפני משה ומרים זה לי ענו ואמרו אדוני ימלוך לעולם ועד מי כמוך באלים אדוני, מי כמוך נהדר בקודש, נורא תהילות אוסף אלה, נורא תהילות אוסף אלה. ונאמר כיפת אדוני את יעקב, וגאלו מיד חזק ממנו. ברוך אתה אדוני, גאל ישראל. This week is Parashat Re'eh. It's the parsha that begins with a couple of very famous verses that I want to share with you, and we're going to talk more about them tomorrow. It reads, "See, this is the day I set before you, blessing and curse. Blessing if you obey the commandments of your God Adonai that I enjoin upon you this day, and curse if you do not obey the commandments of your God Adonai, but turn away from the path that I enjoin upon you this day, and follow other gods whom you have not experienced." So the first word in this sentence is re'eh. Re'eh anochi. And this is interesting. Where is the Hebrew sentence that I'm looking for here? Re'eh anochi noten lifnehem hayom bracha uklala. And what's so interesting about this is that re'eh is the singular. It means look, you, just one person. And then the sentence continues, I have put in front of all of you blessings and curses. And the rabbis speak a great deal about what does that mean. God is not only talking to us as a group. God is individually addressing every single person. And it's a good thing that this parsha comes about at this time of the year, because today is also Rosh Chodesh. And it's Rosh Chodesh Elul, the month before the high holidays. And during that month, it is all about every single one of us making decisions so that all of us together as a community can be sane and healthy and worthy of continuing being together. So that's an interesting time of the year. There are many, many Jewish customs for these last weeks, the stretch before the high holidays. You know so many of them. Get on the phone, call the people you haven't talked to in way too long. Make a list of good things that were supposed to happen that haven't happened yet. Find some time to sit with yourself, figuring out where's your soul. Because this call that is coming out, it's not only just for a group of people, it's a very, very individual call for every single one of you. So I brought the shofar. I just need to put this little person down for a second. I want to give you a chance to hear the shofar, and if it doesn't work out right away, give me a second. Those of you who have seen me do this, they know sometimes it doesn't work out right away, but eventually it will. And just listen to the call, because the call is to you. And once we listen to the call, and we listen to the little silence after this call, I invite you on page 662, and it might also be 626. I'm not entirely sure. But it is definitely 600 and then a 2 and a 6. To sing with me Echad Sha'alti, which is a quote from Psalm 27, which is the psalm that is traditionally recited every single day now for an entire month. And it speaks all about, I'm here. What does my soul long for? And let me just double check. 62? It's not too bad. Okay. Great. 662. Yes. Richard. No. Okay, just give me a second. Ultimate Adonai, Otavakesh. Achad shalti met Adonai, Otavakesh. Shifti beveit Adonai, kol yemei chayai, לחזות בנועם אדוני ולבקר בהיכלו. לחזות בנועם אדוני ולבקר בהיכלו. אחת שאלתי מת אדוני, עוד אבקש. אחת שאלתי מת אדוני, עוד אבקש. And please join me on page 164 for the silent Amidah. You can either say the words on the page or just take a moment for yourself, trying to figure out what it is that your soul wants. Adonai sefatai tiftach ufi yagi teilatecha. Please rise if you're able. Adonai, open up my lips that my mouth may declare your praise. עושה שלום במרומיו, הוא יעשה שלום עלינו ועל כל ישראל, ואמרו אמן. יעשה שלום, יעשה שלום, שלום עלינו ועל כל ישראל. יעשה שלום, יעשה שלום, שלום עלינו ועל כל ישראל. יעשה שלום, יעשה שלום, שלום עלינו ועל כל ישראל. יעשה שלום, יעשה שלום, שלום עלינו ועל כל ישראל. יעשה שלום, יעשה שלום, Shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael ve'imru Amen. And before we come to the Mishaberach, which is all about caring for each other in community, knowing that in each single one of us is a little glitter of God, I wanted to share a poem that is, we're not all adults here. You'll tough it out, I think. It's by Marge Piercy, and it's all about community. It's called The Low Road. What can they do to you? Whatever they want. They can set you up, they can bust you, they can break your fingers, they can burn your brain with electricity, blur you with drugs till you can't walk, can't remember. They can take your child, wall up your lover. They can do anything you can't stop them from doing. How can you stop them? Alone you can fight, you can refuse, you can take what revenge you can, but they roll over you. But two people fighting back to back can cut through a mob, a snake dancing file, can break a cordon, an army can meet an army. Two people can keep each other sane, can give support, conviction, love, massage, hope, sex. Three people are a delegation, a committee, a wedge. With four you can play bridge and start an organization. With six, you can rent a whole house, eat pie for dinner with no seconds, and hold a fundraising party. A dozen make a demonstration. 100 fill a hall. 1,000 have solidarity and your own newsletter. 10,000 power and your own paper. 100,000 your own media. 10 million your own country. It goes on, one at a time. It starts when you care to act. It starts when you do it again, and they said no. It starts when you say we, and know whom you mean, and each day you mean one more. So this community for Mishaberach today thinks about Kyle, who, if you know Kyle, you know that he's really miserable if he doesn't show up, if he promised. So Kyle, we're saying also Mishaberach for Ethel Marshall, the mother of Doug Marshall. We're saying Mishaberach for Bob Wild, who is in Texas and who is a beloved member of our Torah study group, even though usually he's in Mexico, but we see him every week. We're saying Mishaberach for Fred, and call Fred. All of you call Fred, or call Jane. Get on Jane's nerves. But it's a good thing if you have a community that gets on your nerves. We're saying Mishaberach for Ezra Sixdag, and we're saying Mishaberach for Fern Levin, the mother of Randy Levin. And we are on page 371 for the Mishaberach. Please join me. I know this is the prayer that all of you know how to sing and say. Mishaberach Avoteinu Mekor HaBracha Leimoteinu. May the source of strength, who bless the ones before us, help us find the courage to make our lives a blessing, and let us say, Amen. Mishaberach Avoteinu Mekor HaBracha Leimoteinu. Bless those in need of healing. with refuah shelema, the renewal of body, the renewal of spirit, and let us say, Amen. And I will share in this moment the list of people in the month of Elul. I'll read the entire list of people that this community has lost since last summer, since I came on. And this is also a moment to just say thank you again, especially to Sharon and Janelle, who have led the women who did the Tahara a million years ago, but maybe just a week and a little bit ago, of Daniela Stoffel. So we are remembering at this time Daniela Stoffel, Sid Broston, husband of Joanne Broston, Ellen Ornitz's sister, Laurel Rachel Ornitz, Lisa Muller's mother, Larry Lederman, brother of Sharon Lederman and brother-in-law of Randy Levin, Kate Klingensmith, brother Dave, Maurice Maury Dornberg, the father of Dave Dornberg, Wendy Marcus's husband, Michael, Steve Zimmerman, who lost his wife, Suzanne Zimmerman, Henry and Rhoda Sue Bertucci, who lost their grandson, Matthew Bertucci, and also Mike Mansfield, dad. If you want to add any names to the Kaddish of people you lost during the last year, during the last month, please rise with me if it is your custom, or stay seated if it is your custom, for the Mourner's Kaddish on 598. Yitgadal v'yitkadash shemei Rabbah, be'alma divrach chirutei v'yamlich malchutei, b'chai echon u'b'yom echon u'b'chayei lechol beit Yisrael, ba'agala u'b'zman kariv ve'imru amen. יהי שמי רבה מבורך לעולם ולעלמי עלמיה. יתברך וישתבח ויתפאר ויתרומם ויתנשא, ויתהדר ויתעלה ויתהלל שמי לקודשה ברכו. לאלה מן כל ברכתה ושירתה, תושבחתה ונחמתה, דאמירן בעלמה ואמרו אמן. יהי שלמה רבה מן שמיה, וחיים עלינו ועל כל ישראל, ואמרו אמן. עושה שלום במרומיו, הוא יעשה שלום עלינו ועל כל ישראל, ואמרו אמן. You may be seated. I am seeing in my outline that Kyle dropped a thing here that is not created by me. It's called certificates. Is that when the next thing is happening?
No, you've already done it.
Oh, we've already did this. Okay, good. Sorry. I'm just as lost as you are when I did not create the ritual myself. So I think then we are almost done, or when does the second part happen? That the Suzanne's part. Okay, after we're all finished. Okay, great. Oh, I think he put that in there because it has something to do with blessings. Okay, so there will be more blessings later. Let us just finish this service with two more things. One is that I wanted to do a quick announcement. We are going to have the very last Beth Shalom security training this Tuesday morning. And I do believe that not too many people have signed up yet. The sign-up link is in our newsletter. If you want to come and take advantage of this, it is a really good quality program. They do role play, you learn how to react quickly, you learn how to be rude, which is difficult for some of us, but really essential in a situation where you need to be quick and rude and stand up for your own safety and the safety of others. So if you have not taken this training yet, and especially if you're planning on coming to high holiday services, please take the training, because both the Bozeman Police Force and the FBI have assured us that it doesn't matter how much security we have in front of the door, it is actually our members and us knowing what to do that will keep us the safest. So this is my appeal, sign up for the security training. So that we can be protective angels to each other. And other than that, we're just going to do our regular things. Torah study. We are opening religious school next Wednesday, so this is exciting. If you have kids in the right age or grandkids, send them our way. We're starting this Wednesday at 3:45. You are too young. But this one is coming. And I would just like to invite you. I have never seen the synagogue so full on a Friday night. I am very happy. Just look around for a second, savor the moment. Thank you for being here. Thank you for being together. Thank you to Jake Werner. Sit. I don't know if we have enough cupcakes, but I do want to say thank you for bringing all those cupcakes, and Ashley Mansfield bringing the Genomis challah into the space. And I know they're good. So thank you to all of you. And we will do, I will do a quick kiddush here in just a second. If someone can start moving around those glasses. I think they're all wine. This is the first time I haven't prepared it myself.
Grape juice in one tray and wine in the other tray.
How do we know which one is which? You sniff it. Sniff it through the COVID mask. Okay. So, savoring this moment with all its blessing. It's okay. You know that wine is a blessing. So we'll do the blessing and the wine at the same time. Yevarechecha Adonai ve'yishmerecha Yaher Adonai panav elecha vichuneka Yisa Adonai panav elecha ve'yasem lecha shalom. May you be blessed and protected, and may you walk in God's light every day of your life. And I am going to go into the middle and we'll do the kiddush. I hope you all have your wine. What do you have? Do you have wine? Okay, because I don't have anything. Richard.
She's following you.
Can I have just a mouthful in here? Great. Oh no, it's okay. Good. Okay. Thank you. Okay. יום השישי ויחולו השמיים והארץ וכל צבאם ויחל אלוהים ביום השביעי מלאכתו אשר עשה וישפוט ביום השביעי מכל מלאכתו אשר עשה ויברך אלוהים את יום השביעי ויקדש אותו כי בו שבת מכל מלאכתו אשר ברא אלוהים לעשות. ברוך אתה אדוני אלוהינו מלך העולם בורא פרי הגפן. ברוך אתה אדוני אלוהינו מלך העולם אשר קידשנו במצוותיו ורצה בנו ושבת קודשו באהבה וברצון הנחילנו, זיכרון למעשה בראשית. כי הוא יום תחילה למקראי קודש, זכר ליציאת מצרים. כי באנו בחרת ואותנו קידשת עם כל העמים, בשבת קודשך באהבה וברצון הנחלתנו. ברוך אתה אדוני מקדש השבת. לחיים, to life. And oh, okay. Yes, I'm slightly overwhelmed. I don't know how to begin. Okay. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, hamotzi lechem min haaretz b'te'avon. And you will all get more of this in there, I think, right, Sid? No, but we can cut this open. Okay, great. There's more wine and more challah and cupcakes over there.
The oneg is outside.
Oh, the oneg is outside.
And also just a reminder that we can't touch the baby and that we need to stay within social distance.
Keep your mask on until the baby's born.
Okay, hold on. Do you want to say this again?
Just a reminder per doctor's orders, inside continue to wear your mask and respect social distancing and do not touch the baby.
And the oneg is outside.
And the oneg is outside.
Right, so the food is outside.
But the food is inside, Sid, are you taking it outside? Okay. Okay, we can go in there or go outside. Okay.
So the food is in there, you take the food, and then you go wherever you want to consume the food. If you're inside and close to the baby, keep the mask on. If you're outside, you can eat. And now we're singing Shalom Aleichem. And you can get organized. Shalom Aleichem, Malachei Hasharet, Malachei Elyon. Mi melech malachei amlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Bachuni leshalom, malachei hashalom, malachei elyon. Mi melech malachei amlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Bochem leshalom, malachei hashalom, malachei elyon. Mi melech malchei hamlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Tzedchem leshalom, malachei hashalom, malachei elyon. Mi melech malachei hamlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Suzanne, do you want to say something?
Well, maybe some people that came in. There's two baskets over here. One is for ZB and one is for Ida. And I have markers and pens and paper. So draw a little picture, write some words, write a poem, whatever, and put it in the appropriate basket.
Thank you. Shabbat Shalom. Oh. Mazel tov. Siman tov u'mazel tov u'mazel tov v'siman tov. Siman tov u'mazel tov u'mazel tov v'siman tov. Yeh lanu. Yeh lanu, yeh lanu. U'lechol Yisrael. Yeh lanu, yeh lanu. U'lechol Yisrael. Siman tov u'mazel tov u'mazel tov v'siman tov. Siman tov u'mazel tov u'mazel tov v'siman tov. Siman tov u'mazel tov u'mazel tov v'siman tov. Yeh lanu. Shabbat shalom.